These was good cops. They was doing their job. So we scared out our mind, but they want some, you guys got ID, so we down. And ID's in our back pocket. So, but Mike is a little more so. All right, so I'm sorry. They get Kevin out, and they get Buck out. Now, Buck is living a different life from us. We comedians try to make it in comedy. He try to make it in the street, so he got a pocket full of money, right? Mm-hmm. So when he get out the car, he tried to throw the money because it's counterfeit. So when he get out, he tried to throw the money. This is how good these cops is. They bring so I told you be face down like this on the ground. They bring the money back, sit it back on his back like you dropped this. Like, you dropped that. Like y'all not even gonna say we stole nothing from y'all today. Like,
hey TuRae, how you been, man?
I've been great, man. How you been, Mike?
Hanging in there. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Pandemic and all that other good stuff.
World be whirling, life be lifing.
I think it's time to laugh again, though. So, I mean, you're the comics comic. You're the Philly all-star.
Well, I want to go over a little bit of your accomplishments. All right, TuRae, which is spelled T-U. That's a capital R-A-E.
It's TuRae, yes, ma'am. T-U, capital R-A-E, yes, ma'am.
I like that. And, of course, he's on Instagram at Comedy by TuRae.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all check him out on a daily. He's extremely funny. He's Philly's own stand-up comedy artist, and he's definitely a veteran of the stage. He's an accomplished comedian and writer. His early beginnings were at the Philadelphia Laff House, which I do remember that was on South Street, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Stand-up and NBC finalist and HBO Comedy Wings champion. He's made numerous TV appearances, including Comics Unleashed, Gotham Live on Comedy Central, HBO's All Def Comedy Jam, Stars, First Amendment stand-up, and Fox's Laff TV. Wonderful. He entertains annually on celebrity cruises, such as the Soul Train Cruise, Tom Joyner's Fantastic Voyage Cruise. You are a busy man. You have your own production company, Comedy by TuRae Events. You created a label and produced 2 of your own albums, comedy albums, live, that is. TuRae Live at Atlanta Comedy Theater and TuRae a comedy album.
Yep.
Wow. You're a busy man.
Yeah, you guys got my bio.
Yes. And we got to take it from there because all that information is on there.
Yeah, it's a blessing just to be working and relevant and to be able to keep continuing to create work. It's a blessing. So, yeah, I try to stay busy.
Well, it's big things happening. You've got your 30 Years of Laughter.
Yeah, man. It's my anniversary is 30 years of comedy. It's also my birthday. So I'm celebrating 50 years of life, 30 years of laughter, all weekend long at Punchline Philly, which is my comedy home here in the city where you could see me most easily is Punchline Philly. And they've been gracious enough to give me my birthday weekend, also Father's Day weekend and Juneteenth weekend. Such a great weekend for us as Black men and Black people, and then me for my birthday and me in comedy. So I just wanted to do it all one weekend. And that we're doing that this weekend at this coming weekend at Punchline Philly. It's called 30 Years of Laughter. It's myself. I'm going to be performing. I've invited some of my friends that I don't know are coming. They think I don't know, but they're coming. So it's going to be a lot of laughter, a lot of comedians, a lot of different comedians on that stage, including me. And we're just going to have fun. It's going to be a comedy party.
Wow. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
So
That's Friday the 16th, Saturday the 17th, and Sunday the 18th.
There's a lot of ancillary events tied in with that as well, right? Like Sunday afternoon, you got something happening.
Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, they gave me run of the house. So Sunday afternoon, I got a little day party jumping off. I'm 50, so I'm at that age now where a day party, a nice soiree, nice little get together. That's where I'm at. I don't, nightclubs and that scene is. Don't get me wrong, the young people can have it, but a nice day party. So I got the grown folks get together going down Sunday afternoon at Punchline Philly. Sunday from 1 to 5. We're gonna have good music, good food. So we're gonna have some spades games going down. We're gonna have a little grown folks get together. A lot of seated activities. You understand? Seated activities.
That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
Now, I've got a question before like you're obviously, you said 30 years of laughter. I'm guessing 50 years of life. So you started when you're 20 years old?
19.
19.
Actually, 19 actually. Yeah.
Do you remember that first night going up?
Oh yeah. I was at Temple University Student Activity Center, and it was just it was an open mic. And I'm so green at this point, I didn't even know what an open mic was, but I was always like I guess I would say talkative, short, quick-witted kid around campus. So I was known to be the one. Don't say nothing stupid in front of TuRae, or don't leave nothing hanging, because I would jump on it. And young lady was like, "Hey, you come to open mic night tonight?" I'm like, "What's open mic night?" She was like, "You come, you tell jokes, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "I'm not no comedian." And she was like, "You funny as shit." She just looked at me and said it. It was the first time. I think it was the first time someone considered me that way. Like, you're funny. Like, don't get me wrong. I always had friends and all. I didn't grow up lonely or nothing like that. But no one ever told me I was funny. They may have laughed when I did things or laughed at my joke, but no one ever directly said, "Forget all that you thinking." Because it was like, I'm not no comedian. Like, why would I come to open mic night? And she was like looking at me like obvious, like, you funny. And I was just like, freshman in college. Basically, it's can my friends come? Can my friends come in, and is it free? And do you have refreshments? And she was like, "Yeah, if you got your general activity sticker, you can come and it's free." And so a bunch of my friends went, and I just talked about my experiences up to that point of being a freshman on college who wasn't staying on campus. I commuted. I stayed, I lived at home, so I stayed and I commuted back and forth. But my friends were there, and I talked about them, and it was a very comfortable situation, I guess, for it to be my first time. I wasn't in some smoky nightclub or something like that. It was just, friends and fellow students. And at the end of the night, they gave me $50. I didn't win. It was nothing to win. It was just like everybody performed, and they gave all the performers like a little, tribute. And mine was $50, and it was like it lit the ignition, because in my head it was like, "Oh, you get money for this."
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so began the journey for me. It started that night at Temple University.
I love it. I love it. And then how much sooner does the Laff House come into the picture?
Later. How much later does the Laff House come? And the funny thing is, because people love to do math, especially with our podcasts and our conversations. So It's like, well, 19. Yes, I started when I was 19. Because I started doing it. I count from when I was professional comedian. This September would be the 31st year of me doing comedy, but of course that's not a great round number that I can celebrate in June and say 30 years of laughter. So that's why that is. But the Laff House came. It was so funny because there's and Mike, this, being from Philly and our community, like Philly's big city, small town. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know each other. Like, if we have a problem with each other, it's like 2-3 people. You like, "Yo, you know Mike?" No, you know Mike from Reelblack? If I ask 5 people, somebody gonna go, "Yeah, what's wrong?"
Pretty much,
yeah. Can you get? And so what it was the second show I did in Temple University was a Delta Sigma Theta Star Search. They had an organized show with a comedy category, and I went and I performed. Now, for this show, they had a live band. Well, the band was the Serious Mix Band, right?
Okay.
So yeah, exactly. So Stacy sees me after, and he's like, "Yo, my cousin does this little thing in South Philly with a comedy joint." Now, this is how long ago this was. I still living at home, but I had my own line. You know what I'm saying? So I gave him my number, and Stacy called me. It was about 3 months went by. It wasn't immediate. And he called me and he said that show was going down. So I go down, and it's Mo Laughs, and it's at, I don't know what it is now, but then it was the Penrose Hotel. Top level balcony joint, and they had like the dude was doing a little comedy night, and it was basically a showcase comedy night, but there was $100 prize at the end of the night for the best act. And when I walked in, it was like, I had to pay to get in, and I didn't like that. I didn't feel as though, and even I didn't know nothing about this game and this world, I just didn't feel as though us paying to perform was right. So I kind of got an attitude, and I was just like, "You're just gonna be giving me $95 back at the end of the night." I'm not really arrogant accepting my abilities, but he made me angry. So I was just like, I had something. It was something to go after. Now it was like, oh, you know what? I want my money back.
Right.
So I went, and at the end of the night, he gave me he gave me my money. He said, I want you. Not only did he give me the $100, but he said, I want you to be my host from now on. I want you to host this one. And that's Mo Laughs, that place, that club, that $100 competition is where I met my future of comedy. I met D. Lee. I met Dick Tracy. I met Javon Pearson. I met Mike Blackson. I met everybody at the time that was doing comedy in the urban circuit. And D. Lee D. Lee went on to be my mentor and also owner of the Laff House. Now, a lot of people don't know this story. The Laff House would not be if it wasn't for me. And I don't say that bragging. I say it because of just the way things happen. Right. So I'm still young enough to be playing my little street ball basketball dreams. I knew I wasn't going to the NBA, but I still enjoyed a good game of basketball. The best basketball runs in the city back in the day used to be down at the Sporting Club at the Bellevue, because you could run with college players and some NBA players. Like the day I was playing, I played Mo Cheeks, and Mo Cheeks was in there running, and it was good runs. So I'm running, and there's this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy. I mean, he's gorgeous, look like a Ken doll, but he can't play no ball. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving him the business. I think I might have 30 on him. And I'm just talking and laughing at him because he's so terrible. So I know he's just out there for exercise. But it's like, we start talking. And so in between games, we were sitting there, and he said, man, you're pretty funny. I said, yeah, I just started doing comedy. And I'm in college. I just started, trying to do comedy. He said, oh, do you know what's funny about that? I said, no. He said, I own a comedy club. Wow. The man I'm talking to is Eric Bloomfeld, the real estate developer.
Oh, right.
That owns the block on South Street that the Laff House once sat on. Yeah. So I, at the time, what I was doing at that time in my comedy movements was me and D were throwing shows all around the city at places like Shea LaBelle's and North American Motor Lodge. Like, we was just throwing our own little shows. I introduced D to Eric, and D made what was Catch a Rising Star, the Laff House. So that's how the Laff House came to be.
That's some good information.
Well, just for my own clarification, what was it called when David Brenner had it?
It was David Brenner's Catch a Rising Star.
Okay.
Yeah, he just licensed his name on it. And then a little later, he wanted his name removed because they were starting to book acts that he didn't particularly approve of. Now, of course, a lot of people want to go, well, they were booking black acts, but the honest to God truth was the club was doing what they could do to survive. Comedy had taken that turn where white mainstream comedy wasn't putting the asses in the seats like it used to. There was a period right before Def Jam where that white mainstream comedy took a dip. It's back up now because of shows like Def Jam and Gotham Live and stuff like that. Platform comedy shows brought comedy back. But previous to that, people weren't coming out to see those acts like that. So the clubs were starting to book edgier, not just black, edgier acts. And David Brenner's a conservative Jewish guy, and he didn't want his name associated. So he took his name off of it because it was a licensing deal, and it was still ran as Catch a Rising Star. Fun fact, Martin Lawrence recorded his comedy album at that club.
Oh, wow. Okay. The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Talking Shit.
Talking Shit, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a famous club,
Yeah.
Bill Burr recorded there as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know. Tesa,
I found it interesting how you and Mike met. Mike was telling me that you guys met around 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He was going around, filming you guys. You were with a female by the name of B Flat.
Yes.
Flat and TuRae. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister, man, she's such a phenomenal comedian. Her name is what is Bev's last name now? She's married, and she's Beverly Perkins. She loves to be addressed as Miss Perkins.
Okay.
She loves her some Dennis Perkins, and she loves to be Mrs. Perkins. But B Flat, man, such a phenomenal comedian and performer in her own right. Out of St. Louis originally, but started her comedy career here in Philly while she was working at McGee Rehab. And she's a musician. So that's where the flat, she spells her name Phlat,
Got
from the music symbol, because she does music and incorporates, and truly such a beautiful woman, but just such a good friend of mine. And I'm so happy to have spent the time in comedy that I have with Bev. Like, she's always been there. She's always a phone call away, and always one of the better acts in comedy out of this city. So yeah, it's not peculiar that I would have met Mike in those circles, or moving around with Bev, because she's always moved around in the circles of Philadelphia comedy.
Is she still performing?
Yes.
Okay.
She has she's more one woman show, and I mean, true Midwestern girl, like, she has a home improvement show.
Okay.
Like, she does her comedy, but she has a show where she fixes stuff because she can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's good people, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I remember when Reelblack used to be a show. Like, I used to watch it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was always a buff. I was always a movie buff, comic buff. So, Mike and I had that same similarities of reviews. And I would watch and want to see what he had to say, and see if I was the only person thinking that way, or I was the only person that saw it that way. So I always appreciate it. And then another time we got cool, and not so much got cool, we was always hanging around each other, but when our circles ran around each other a little more, was when I bought Dick Tracy. And Dick would always come do Reelblack. Like, don't get me wrong, he would come to Philly to do his shows, but
Dick
while
Gregory.
he was here,
Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
Gotcha. Yeah.
When Dick Gregory would come, Mike was the camera that he was with most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike cracks me up with Dick Gregory, because I've watched a lot of his footage.
A lot of the footage you see is Mike's footage.
And Mike's interviews with Dick Gregory were always so interesting, because Dick Gregory would find a moment to lash out.
Huh? You don't understand if you don't, man, huh? I mean, if you don't I would be sitting here like,
I lose it every time I see it, because I know Mike so well now, and he's so understated and quiet. And look at Gregory. Yeah, very hilarious. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that piece right there. That's one of the things that you presented with him, that you hooked Soul Comedy Cafe.
Yes.
Part of that. Yeah, that's
and such a gracious time for him to do. He did that show for me twice.
Wow.
I mean, and it was just about his schedule.
Yes.
Truly. It was just about it. Like, if he wanted to do it, he came and he did it, and he made no qualms about it, and always spent an extra moment with me to give me a gem or two, or just to talk to me, man. Just to talk to me. And I have a great picture of him and my dad, me and my dad. And because my mom and dad live in Georgia. My dad came up for that. He was like, "Oh, you got Dick Gregory? I'm coming." And because he meant so much to my dad. So I was always happy to have those shows, and so happy to have Mike cover them, because like I said, a lot of the footage you see of Dick Gregory, even in the interview, some of those interviews you see of people, they're played over and over again in little clips. That's Mike's footage.
Yeah. Yes, Mike is a real one. He got
a real black.
He's real black, and he's real understated. But every time I get a chance, I definitely bump him up.
What do you think makes a comedian funny, and do you think it can be taught?
I don't think funny can be taught, because if you don't know what's funny, how am I going to teach it to you? Something can just be funny. Something can be laughed at, meaning, man, a dude falling down the steps, we'll laugh at that. Or a child playing innocently might be cute to us, we'll laugh at that. Something can be laughed at, but I don't think you can make a person funny if they don't already have their point of view, because what's funny is what you think is funny. What a comedian is presenting it to everyone else so that they figure out how they can be. Like, I always tell people like, your gift is that you're funny. I'm like, I don't think my gift is that I'm funny. I think my gift is that I'm able to communicate with masses of people, no matter what. I was locked up, and this is not a locked up story. It's just I was in England and didn't have visa. So, sometimes you come to England to work. If you don't have your work visa, they'll hold you until you get it. So I'm in a holding cell with a man that doesn't even speak English. But I was able to communicate with him that he had to wait until they opened that door for us to go to the next level of what we're doing. But basically, I think that is my gift, to be able to talk. So when it comes to comedy, it's just what I think is funny. Now I'm going to present it to you in a wording and in a way and in a rhythm that you will find it funny also. That's what can be taught.
And that's
But,
talent. Yeah.
right. Like if you don't come, like we at Philadelphia Comedy College, we go, well, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, people were telling me I'm funny my whole life. All right, well, let's see why they tell you that.
Yeah.
And then when they start talking, we go, you're a teacher. Yeah. All right, man, let's write from there. Let's write the joke from there. Let's, or you're a trash man. All right, let's write the joke from there because that's what you do. That's what you're thinking about. That's what you think is funny. Now let's go in to see if everybody else think is funny. That the greatest thing about comedy is I don't have to tell you. Audience will tell you. Audience will tell you. We could all think it's funny. You get up there and that audience don't think it's funny.
They're gonna let you know.
They're gonna let you know, and you'll feel it.
And you actually, and that was my next question because you are one of the lead instructors at the Philadelphia Comedy College, and I was going to ask further, how do you decide like who's going to actually be a student there? Do they have to go through an audition or something like that?
No, they pay.
And how many students do you have like per class or?
Well, we don't try to get more than 12 because I can't spend. Everybody runs their sets. In Philadelphia Comedy College, we go on stage, we work out, we perform, we have writing sessions. If it gets too many students over 12, I don't have time to individually spend with them. So we try not to have over 12 per semester, but there's no audition. We consider ourselves to be a launching pad for any comedy career, meaning if you might be professional, it's been doing it a while, but you want to be better, we can help. You might have never done comedy in the world, but now you in your life, now you want to start. We can help. So there's no audition because again, we're not the determination of where your career is going.
That's right. Now, have you ever had to tell a comedian or an aspiring comedian that they just don't have it?
Yeah, but that was before I started doing comedy college. that was one. And you know what? I've only done that once. One time.
You ain't trying to break my heart.
it was like I was pressed to it. Like it was one of them. I have much more patience now, but it was one of them nights at the Laff House. I used to host Thursday night, which was a showcase. Thursday night, Blazing Thursday. That's what it was called.
Okay.
And it was basically a showcase. That's where Kevin Hart started, as a matter of fact. But so we used to do these Thursday nights. And one night, and every Thursday is going to be a list of comedians that want to get on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the same comedians. Well, if a comedian goes on and he's killing, then yeah, you're going to give him more opportunity. But if you throw a comedian on 4 or 5 times and they're not doing well, then they're not going to get 4 or 5 times again. The amount of opportunity they get is going to go down. So that's what was happening with this particular comedian. So it was like, I'm waiting. I'm leaving, and I guess he waited for me to come out after the show. Not like he was waiting on me, but he waited till after the show. I just happened to be leaving, and I just didn't like the way it looked because I walked downstairs and there's another comedian like trying to calm him down, like no, chill, it's cool. So I'm like, what is this bullshit? So I get down and he goes, yo man, you got a problem with me? I was like, I don't have a problem with you. I'm just saying you're not putting me on. And it was like I'm really trying to just get out of this conversation. Like yo, bro, like. Hey man, some nights you win. I'm giving him all the cliches. Some nights that's the way the cookie crumble. That's the way the ball bounces.
Right.
And he just kept with the no. I said, you know what it is? You not fucking funny. That's what it is.
Oh, wow. You let him know. He was poking the bear, so you let him.
Yeah, and he kept, and it was like, and that's why the comedian was trying to stop him. Like TuRae's going to tell you, and you're not going to want to hear it. Ooh. So maybe you shouldn't start this conversation. But I wasn't trying to demean him. I wasn't trying to put him down or shatter his dreams. I was trying to go to my car, and he kept. It was like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I don't know because there's a Thursday you gonna come down here. I'm not gonna be here.
That's right.
So I'm not gonna be the dude to tell you ain't gonna never make it, bro. Do your thing, but leave me alone. I'm not the reason why you're not getting what you're supposed to get off that stage. That's all you need to know. And so, yeah, but I've only done that once. And I normally don't tell people what I think of them unless they ask. Now, if they ask, yes. But since I've started doing Philadelphia Comedy College, no, I don't as much because I look at it as the information that I could give you, the help I could give you. Somebody paid for that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to just give it to you free.
Well, your honesty must emerge. Speaking of like all the different comedians, what about female comedians? Now we had Lunell on the show. She's extremely funny. There's a bunch of favorites when it comes to the female comedians.
Well, I have my favorite. Samora is my favorite. She's the one that employs me the most. So
I like her.
Yeah, we all have our favorites, and it's funny because I've been on the road. I've been opening for Samora for like 12 years. And one of the things she says is, you got to pick a team. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pick a team. Like you either over there, you over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's my favorite. Yeah, I'm biased, but I've also sat and I watch her. I watch her process.
Yes.
Whereas, comedian like myself, and I'm not saying this makes her any better or worse. It's just her process, and I've respected. A comedian like myself, I want to try a new joke. I'll work it out at Wilson's on Wednesday night, or I'll go to open mic night or work it out. She works her new material. When you see her at the Improv for the weekend, that's her working on a new set.
Wow. Yeah.
That she goes through the year working this set, and then you'll see her do a special every year. She produces her own special. So she gets that material out, and then she's done with it. And then the next year she's writing another, and it's like, wow. And to watch her process, to watch her sell a joke. Here's a woman in a gown. Most times Samoa's dressed like she's going to the Met Gala on stage, right?
Classic.
But I've seen her do a joke where she dropped down to a full split damn near to sell the joke. And I'm like, if she can do that, then, I got to be on stage doing it, like on that level. So very inspirational to watch her, to be a female. You hear females aren't funny. The magic of Samoa is that it's not if you go see her, it's not an hour of men ain't shit. It's not an hour of women problems. It's truly an hour of comedy.
It's comedy.
And that's what the beauty of comedy is, whether it be coming from a female mouth or male. It's comedy. It's supposed to be funny and entertaining to us. It's not supposed to be a drag. It's not supposed to be something you got to sit through. So I'm biased towards Samoa, but I'm also a comedian and a man that thinks women are funny. There are a lot of men that just don't, and I can't explain it, but they just don't. But I think there are a lot of hilarious comedians. Lunel is hilarious. My girl Ada Rodriguez is hilarious. Wanda Sykes special on Netflix. Oh my God, Wanda Sykes special on Netflix right now. Samoa has a special on Netflix.
Yeah.
And to me, up until Wanda Sykes special came out, to me, Samoa special was the best special on Netflix. Forget everybody else. I'm telling you, over everybody else that came out. Up until last week when Wanda's dropped, Wanda's silly. You know what I'm saying? So these females are coming with it, and they've been coming with it. This is nothing new.
They have going way back. Mom's Mabley. I mean,
yes, this is not new. This is not new. This is maybe social media lends a certain level of magnetism, magnifying glass on it, so it looks like it's new. But it's not. Some female, and then we can't stop saying females. Ladies, the women have been funny. Because someone explained to me what that is too. A female, somebody said that's why it can be offensive, because every now we can take offense to everything. So a female can be any species. You have a female dog, you have female deer. A woman is a female human. So that's what I was told by a woman.
It has to have the word man in it, and then woman. I hear you. Take notate it.
Listen, I don't understand, but a woman, the women comedians are fun. Whoopi Goldberg,
for sure,
does not get, because Whoopi's Whoopi now. She's sitting at the edge of the table. She's political. She's so poignant and intelligent. People forget Whoopi was that woman. Like her stand-up, her one woman special.
I saw her one woman show live in New York.
Oh my God!
And
you are blessed.
She would put the shirt on her hair. She pretended, she was talking about the racial stuff and how she wanted to. She was hilarious. Yes. And she will get you if you come in her show late.
Listen, Whoopi one of the first queens of comedy. They don't give her. They skip over her when they talk about the comedians because of her success in other areas. But Whoopi really did it. Like, she stepped off of comedy like, all right, I'm done with that. It's like, that's how that was. Wasn't like she couldn't do it no more. It was like, yeah, that's it.
Well, she was killing it. She lives and breathes comedy, even just in her conversation, the way she talks.
That's good. I'm glad.
That's what true talent is. It's like you can use it in different media. When you're gifted, you can go to different mediums and use that. Given. So you're an example of that as well.
Yes, I tried to be. Yeah. Well, the greats. I look up to the greats. So they all had to be multifaceted.
Yes. And I just love the fact that you are teaching, because a lot of times, people that are talented, they're not teaching others that are coming up.
No.
So
No, I don't feel threatened by anybody coming behind me, and for that, and a lot of cats help me. A lot of cats help me, and they didn't have to. They didn't charge for it, but that's their mistake. But a lot of cats helped me. A lot of cats would give me a kind word. I remember Paul Mooney telling me, you know, listen, little nigga, go on that stage and do your 5 minutes, but don't make me come get you. You know, but he gave me 5 minutes. You know, like whereas they were saying nobody else could get on, and I asked him, I said, you know, Mr. Mooney, please, if you could, I would just want to do 5 minutes. I ain't going to, you know, go. He said, listen, little nigga, you go up there, you do your 5 minutes, you come off, I don't want to have to come get you.
Wow.
I said,
yeah.
And, you know, so kindness is like that. I just look at it as something I can give back throughout my career. And that's the help or the education or just telling a cat. Like I do that when comedians don't ask for it. Like sometimes I watch, comedians have asked me to watch their set and tell me what they think.
Wow.
Shout out to DC Youngfly. I'm sorry my brother just experienced such a tragedy.
The death of his mother
of his children,
who was an influencer on Instagram and other. Yes.
He last week when we were at the Leah Course Center was like, "Oh, gee, come watch my set. Tell me what you think." I didn't just watch his set. I took notes and I gave him a couple tags like, "Yo, you could say this, you could say that." Comedians who ask me to do that, I love because not so much like that, but I appreciate that they look at me as skilled enough to do that. Like, yo, watch my set and help me out. Like, I'm like, that, you know, now some of them pay me. And some more pays me to do that. DC was like, yo, I need your pen. Like, call me up. Let's do this business. But the average comedian, the young comedian, if I see something and I can help, I will. If I can give my opportunity, I will, because that's what was done for me.
Absolutely.
Well, we're talking to TuRae Gordon, who is celebrating 50 years of life, 30 years of comedy. This Father's Day weekend, the Punchline Philly.
Indeed.
Can't let this session go by without a Kevin Hart story. Now, were you in the car? Were you part of that story?
Yes, I was in the car. The infamous car. Yeah,
story. I don't know if you heard this story.
Do tell.
You've never heard this story, Miss Tesa?
I'm gonna hear it now.
All right, so
Philadelphia legendary story of Philly comedy story.
It's funny because this story's been told. We got to blow our numbers up on Reelblack, Mike. They're not giving us enough love over here. Every time Mike and Kev tell the story,
they can't handle the truth. That's
what it is. Every time Mike and Kev tell the story, and they've told it on major platforms like this one is, we need to get our numbers so that people understand. My phone rings off the hook. So here's the story. One night we're got to go to New York to do a show. Mike's on the show. I think I'm on the show.
Michael
Blackson, Kevin Hart, myself, and another comedian by the name of Buckwild. I'm on the show and Mike's on the show. Kev and Buck are just tagging along. But we got to drive. Now, nobody want to drive their car. Buck just happened to have the new car. So we're going to ride in the newer car. So we meet at Winners. Remember Winners at 11th and Arch? Used to be a non-alcoholic club. They used to do comedy in there. Okay. So it's now office furniture warehouse, but they used to do comedy in there. So we meet there. And we all get in Buck's car and we ride up. Now, for some reason, Mike is driving Buck's car. Now, that was my first red flag. Like, if I had a new car, don't nobody drive my new car. But Buck was quick to give Mike the wheel. So we going up the turnpike. And this is 99, maybe 2000. So this is around the time where the New Jersey State Troop Board, just the turnpike for black men, wasn't a good scene. You know, like things was happening to us on that turnpike. And so there was a fear of the New Jersey State Troopers, and rightfully so. But Mike is driving and I see, because I'm in the passenger seat, so it's Mike, me, Kev is behind Mike, Buck is behind me. Mm-hmm. And I see in the rear side view, I'm like, the cops have been behind us for a minute. I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. The cops have been behind us for a minute, so I know they're running our plates. Mm-hmm. So when they finish running the plates come back stolen, they light it up. And they already been behind us, so they've already figured out it's 4 black males. You know what I'm saying? Like when they light up the car, they can see all that. So they, pull over. Mike immediately panics. Buck, what's going on? Hey, but Buck back in the back, y'all just chill. I'm like, see, here we go. Because I know what at this point now I know it's something going on with this. This ain't gonna be just as smooth.
Wow.
So of course, normal protocol, but because the car came back stolen, they didn't get out the car. They commanded us through the speaker. So it's like front passenger, get out the car, stand with your hands on your head, walk back to us. So, I walk back. Mike get out the car, do this, and walk forward. I said, they're going to shoot Mike. They're going to shoot because he walking away from me. He's like, walk back. I was like, Mike, come here. So they get me back down, face down the ground. They get Mike back down, face down the ground.
Wow.
And I ain't going to front. That's why when cops do bad shit, it's so angering, triggering, and hurtful. Because all of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I know bad cops, because I've run into good cops. These was good cops. They was doing their job. So we scared out our mind, but they want some, you guys got ID, so we down. And ID's in our back pocket. So, but Mike is a little more so. All right, so I'm sorry. They get Kevin out and they get Buck out. Now, Buck is living a different life from us. We comedians trying to make it in comedy. He trying to make it in the street, so he got a pocket full of money, right? Mm-hmm. So he get out the car, he tried to throw the money because it's counterfeit. So when he get out, he tried to throw the money. This is how good these cops is. They bring so I told you be face down like this on the ground. Mm-hmm. They bring the money back, sit it back on his back like you dropped this. Like, you dropped that. Like y'all not even gonna say we stole nothing from y'all today. Like we ain't gonna beat y'all up. We're not gonna be brutal with no police brutality and no police theft. Y'all gonna take off.
Now that was funny. Did they know?
It was like, you dropped this. It was like, because we all face to face. Like, our eyes is like this. We all looking at each other. So you can literally see them go, you dropped it. So they put it, so they go in Mike's wallet. And this is nice. So Mike has a picture of Mike, his son, and his wallet. So Mike is shook. He goes, is this your son? I guess the cop was trying to calm him down. So he goes, is this your son? And he goes, yes, officer, please. I want to see him again. Please don't hurt me. And the officer even had to say, yo, chill out. Like, we cool out. But like, we're not going to hurt you. Kevin is laughing maniacally. And maybe he's nervous and he just couldn't stop. But he's laughing to the point where now that the cops, they were starting to lose their patience. So it's like, tell your friend, shut up. Because they can see pretty much I'm the only one really takes it. It's like, yo, tell your friend, stop laughing. I was like, yo, Kev, shut up. Like, this ain't funny. Like, let's rap. Like, so because it was receiving, the car came back, the tags were stolen. So because it was receiving stolen property, because they kind of probably figured that we wasn't a threat, when they took us to the holding cell, they didn't cuff us. They just we didn't cuff, we was just in the holding cell. They didn't take our belongings. So Buck still had his counterfeit money. So I'm in the cell snapping because I don't like being in cells when I ain't do nothing to be in a cell. So I'm like, why the fuck, Buck, if you knew your car was stolen? No, I didn't know the boy. And it's like, it's all BS because Buck, that's Buck. It's just BS. It's like, yo, stop with the shit, yo. Like, goddamn, like, this is not where I want to be with my life. I'm all on that level. Like, Kev is just, look, Kev's not even in the holding cell with us. Kev is out there with them, entertaining them. Like he's sitting on the desk. We like Mike was like, you think Kev snitched on us? I was like, how the fuck he gonna snitch? Like, what are you gonna tell him? Because it looked like Kev was out there on their desk, like sitting on their desk, telling them jokes. They all laugh. But it wasn't that. It was just that he was little, so they were like, he could sit out there with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, what's this? Yeah, he was little. This ain't workout Kev. This ain't the Kev you see now. It was just little guy from 17th and Erie Kev. Like, yeah. So, so they thought he was cute and cuddly, so they hung out with him. But they put Kev back in the cell. And so I'm looking, I'm trying to keep my eyes on them, and I happen to turn around because they all behind me, and I see Buck eating. And I'm like, what you eating? Mm. And then Kev is eating. I'm like, what are y'all eating? Where y'all get food from?
Is it the money?
They open their mouth and the green dye starts coming out.
Swallowing the
They
money.
were eating the money.
Oh God.
And Buck told me, I said, Buck told me, I need you. I said, I ain't eating shit. I said, wherever you at in life, that's where you deserve to be right now. I was so hard on him because I feel bad because Buck is my friend. But at that moment, I was so hard on him. I was like, this is what you deserve, bro. I'm not eating shit. Because he was like, they find this money. I'm not going home. I'm like, that's on you. That's on you. Like, I'm not eating. But anyway, they ended up releasing us because basically what it was, you know, how, and you know this in Philly, you get too many tickets, you take the plate off. Yeah. And that's what he did. So when they ran the plate and it came back that's not the matching VIN, receiving stolen goods. So they gave us a ticket and let us go, but they did take us to the precinct. But yeah, that's the crazy story.
You were in the car with Kevin Hart, Buckwild, and Michael Blackson.
Mike Blackson.
And Michael Blackson have on his African garb. When I would see him,
but
he always had that African garb.
Yeah, this was Mike. And I would say, I'm not gonna say this was before he started wearing it because he would wear it, but this wasn't that type show.
Okay, gotcha.
So like when we would go up New York, like sometimes we go up New York, we didn't know what to expect all the time. So we didn't know if we was gonna be in a nice ballroom or a hood spot. So I think that Mike pretty much was rolling compact, like he didn't have his whole garb. But yeah, he used to wear the dashiki and all of that, and now it's just premium Versace. So
yeah, I saw him on a flight not long ago, and he had on a similar coat that I have, a fur coat with all the patches of color in it. I actually have one. I was like,
Mike is, okay. Oh, you rich too. Yeah. That's what she's saying, Mike. That's she just low key popped the collar on us, like he had on a coat that I got. Because I was like, Mike got this, and she's like, yeah, because I got that, and if he got it, then
I'm just telling the truth.
I understand.
Well, it brings up a good point, though. I mean, like
you're smoke with that story. Thanks. That was a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. But TuRae, I mean, your numbers on your Instagram have gone up substantially. I'd say in the last 6 or 7 months. I mean, what were you posting more? Or something you did or somebody discovered?
The algorithm.
You've been you've been tricking the algorithm. I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, like, you know, and it's so funny. You know who told me, Mike? Courtney. Okay. She was like, first of all, she's Courtney, because I love Courtney. She's
Courtney over at Punchline, yeah.
Yeah, she's over such a help to me. But she's just direct, and she said, "I hate your borders. I hate your little flyer borders." She like, just post your set with the words and let your comedy do the job it's supposed to do. And I posted a video, and she told me that I was in Cali, and I met with her because she's actually Courtney at Live Nation. But we was in Cali, and we went to lunch, and she was just talking to me and telling me some things. And she was like, let your material do what it's supposed to do. Now, this was July of last year. So I posted a video of me performing at the Dell in 2012. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point I had 28,000 followers. I posted that. DL Hewley saw it, thought it was hilarious. He reposted it. Nice. And from July to August, I went from 28,000 followers to 80,000.
82.6 thousand to today's date.
Right, because it stopped at 80 and now it's just starting to start up again with content. Basically, I would say your social media is a billboard. You could choose to put something on it or not, but then nobody's going to wait. They're just going to walk to the next billboard. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest you put something on yours so they stop and look at it and keep putting stuff up. Right. So because of the fact that I'm a comedian and a lot of comedians don't want to just keep posting their material, that's why you see a lot of comedians post crowd work. You'll see them talking to the crowd because that's not really material. Yeah. That basically happens at a show and they might have got something funny in it, so they post it. But it's content. It keeps something on their billboard. For me, I got into the videos, just remixing videos and having my little thing to say after the end of the videos. And I didn't really think about it until I ran into a new comedian by the name of Godfrey, who I respect and is a phenomenal comedian and has a great social media presence. He saw me and was like, yo, that thing you do with the videos where you drink the cup afterwards. He's like, that's it. I was like, I just keep going with what works. And, you know, hopefully I get the signal to switch before it drops, you know, and that's all you can hope to do because you got to keep inventing yourself and be relevant to keep going forward in this career and in this game, and especially in stand-up comedy. You have to keep introducing yourself to new audiences.
That's
So
right.
what's left for you to do? I mean, are you comfortable with this level of fame, or do people like Blackson and Kevin Hart make you like say, "Oh shit, I need a Learjet too," or some shit like that?
I think I'm comfortable with my level of fame. I'm not comfortable with my bank account.
Okay.
I like the fact that people know who I am, but don't lose their mind if I'm around. I appreciate that. I don't think I'm comfortable with that. You know, I don't. And again, I don't know if it was to happen, if there was just some boom that happened in my career, and then I guess you would have to adjust and deal with it as then. But I like the fact that when people see me out, they go, "Oh, that's a comedian. Can I get a picture?" and whatever, and they allow me to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Kevin's level of fame, that's scary. That's scary. Like I've been out with Kevin, and it's scary. You know, like I forget sometimes that he is who he is to the world. Like, you know, when I'm around him, he's just Kev. And my lady says that. She said when y'all around each other, not just me and him, it's like me, Kim, Kev, Naeem, Spank. When we all get together, it's back to the Laff House. We're not, and I forget that they are, you know, superstars and all that. But it's like when we around each other, we just who we are. We just talking. We just commiserating as boys. But yeah, it's something to have the levels of success that Mike and Kev have. And Kevin, they both are products of their own hard work. Like let that be no mistake. So for Kevin especially, you know, don't get me wrong, he is at that level where it's like, oh my God, he's so big. He definitely has a machine behind him, but he got that machine behind him. He put that machine. They didn't go find him and go, let's build him up. He built himself up step by step and took the machine with him.
Yeah,
Mike,
his work ethic is incredible.
right? And Mike was the same way.
Yeah, yours is as well. I know you're a writer, but as Mike was asking you, is there anything else you want to do? I mean, as far as films, because films can definitely put you on that platform where like everybody kind of knows you. Are there any films you're aspiring to do? Are you doing any writing, or is there any actors you want to star with, or so what's up with that?
And before you answer that, we saw you in Devin Hampton's piece.
Yeah. I don't. It's funny because everybody asks me that. I chase the opportunities that comedy creates, and comedy's created some opportunities for me to be in film, so I take them. I'm going to be working with Kyrie Terrell on his upcoming project. So yeah, like I normally don't chase those opportunities, but when they come to me, I pursue them. And I have such a great respect for actors. Like I've done a couple commercials, and then I've done a couple plays, and I'm like, wow, like, you know, to me, this is harder. Like the stuff y'all do is so much harder than what I do. But for me, my next aspiration is the platform of podcasts. And I don't just want to throw my hat in the ring and have another podcast. I want to change something in the podcast field. I want to stick out. So that's the next thing.
Well, if anybody's going to figure it out, I know it's you. I actually had the honor of seeing you. I don't know, Mike, can I show him this?
I see it.
We met at Punchline. I think this was right during the and this guy,
David Arnold.
Yeah, he was on with you that night.
Who was that?
This guy, I'm not really sure. I forget his name, but he was on the show.
That is Home Alone.
Is that his name?
Home Alone. Yeah, that's it.
Listen,
I don't name him.
I think I'm friends with him on Instagram. I forget.
If you're friends on him, you would know.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, is his name Home Alone?
No, his name is Lawrence Lovelace.
I'll look it up. But I noticed that you were really funny, and you keep it clean. You don't use like the N-word at all, do you?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I try not to.
Okay,
I'm trying not to. And you know what's so funny, Miss Cece? I am trying not to use it even more in front of white audiences.
I like that.
You know, it hit me the other day. I was doing a show for my friend Eddie Gallagher, who has it. Like I have soul comedy. My friend Eddie Gallagher has cricket comedy. That's his thing. And cricket, you know, Eddie's Irish. I'm black. Eddie's crowd is mainly white, and I felt funny saying it in front of them. Not embarrassed.
Right.
I just felt like y'all can't partake, so I'm not gonna keep saying this in front of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but what I'm saying to you is, and it's so crazy that I feel like this, and maybe I shouldn't, that I don't feel comfortable saying it in front of white people as much as I do in front of black people.
And that's probably a good thing, because I guess using that word has become like a quote unquote word of endearment, term of endearment. And you see it in the hip hop world, you hear it on music, and then a lot of comedians will make a joke like, "Oh, we can say it, but you can't," and all that. I'm like, well, why say it at all? You know, I know,
and I'm trying to get there. I'm trying
we're
to
amongst
get there.
our
It's
own
just
people. I know that it comes out from time
yes.
to time, especially if like in families. Like I'm from a huge family, and when you mad at somebody, you be like, "That nigga didn't did it." You know, but just to put it in music in a show, you know,
I'm trying to get there, but then Paul Mooney died, and I'm like, well, who else gonna hold it down?
Who gonna hold it down? Right.
Who gonna hold it down? But I'm trying. I'm working on it, and I think the first, and it's not just white. Let me tell you something. Older black crowds, it slows me from saying it.
Good. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because
respect.
Yes. And older black people will be like, I don't like that. Stop saying that to me, or stop calling me, because you sound like you're saying it to me.
That's right.
And
they're
so
closer. We're a little further removed.
From the damage of it, from being called that directly as a summon, like, come here. We didn't grow up like that.
Yes.
But again, I'm trying, but I'm not clean. I'm an adult comic. You will curse, you will hear some cursing, but I believe there's a difference between obscenity, vulgarity, and adult.
And you said that well, because when I said clean, that's pretty much what I meant. Like you
yes.
keep up and up.
I'm not vulgar.
Right, you're not.
There's
vulgar.
a difference. Yeah, and there's a difference. Like I tell comedians this all the time. Excuse my language. I tell comedians, especially black comedians, watch how many bitches fly out your mouth. Mm-hmm. Because the women in the audience, they wondering who's the bitches.
And your mother's a woman, so you wouldn't be here without her.
Right. And you got to watch that, because somebody will challenge that, and then when someone goes, like I've seen it happen at the Laff House, his brother got up, like an older gentleman, of course, got himself together, all standing at the table, like stood up, got himself together, grabbed his wife's hand, and walked out. So this took about 2-3 minutes in the middle of this brother's set, this comedian's set. And he watched him, and he said, well, where you going, man? He said, I'm leaving. He said, you leaving, all trying to make it about the bus and all that, and you got to leave because you can't afford to get. He said, maybe not. He said, I'm really just trying to figure out how many bitches my wife is supposed to be tonight.
Wow.
You have a good night. Wow. That always sat with me.
I like that.
Because I'm like, in the crowd, people could be offended, and you don't even know that you're offending them. You know what I mean? So I always tell comedians, if it's funny, it don't have to be obscene. It don't have to be vulgar. It can still be, what's still funny about it? It could be sex. It could be a sex joke. It can still be funny, but is the MF funny? Is the PUSS, is that funny? Or is what you're saying, the story, what she said, is that funny?
Right.
So
exactly. Wow.
So
good stuff.
We got another question before we wrap it up. You've got kids, right? All right.
He's like, do I have kids?
You want one?
Wazoo.
I got extra kids. I got kids just in case.
Just in case. That's funny.
We were talking just in case kids.
Well, Mike has a cat and a turtle. What, any kids?
Huh? Oh, the cat.
He said he got some kids to give away.
Huh?
No, he literally does have a turtle.
Oh.
His cat will like cuddle up and hug you, so that's his child right there.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway.
Little Mermaid, Spider-Man, controversy. Any thoughts?
I don't know why. Like I don't understand why people don't understand. First of all, I hate that we do this. Like you're so intelligent one day and then we just dumb the next. Okay, I think the Little Mermaid, when it came out last time, we was what, 16, 17? They have to keep reinventing it for the people who ain't seen it. Evolution. So it ain't for y'all. Ain't no 8-year-old kid saying that the Little Mermaid shouldn't be black. Right. It's the parents. It ain't for y'all. It ain't for y'all. So why are you worried about what color she is? Disney want that money. That's, if you look at it, all of their characters have gone ethnic. You know why? Because they already got the money from the little white kids. Yeah. Time to get the money from these little black kids, these little Mexican kids, Asian kids. Let's get this
sure.
money. And why nobody looks at that? You're angry at the actors and actresses, but nobody's upset with Disney for milking it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying we should be upset with Disney for milking it, but what I'm saying is that's what's happening. The NAACP ain't hit them up and go, yo, we need Little Mermaid to be black.
Mm.
That's not what happened. We didn't ask.
Not at
we
all.
didn't demand that the Little Mermaid be black or else. No.
Right.
So what are y'all upset about?
Yeah.
They want this money.
Yeah.
So I don't get that part. Again,
so do we need to make a list and take it to the NAACP? Like what other characters?
Characters should we turn black so that we can be justified? And I don't get it. Then, to the flip side, what you're saying, like when Superman was gay in the books, they had, a storyline where Superman was gay. And people was upset. I'm like, y'all don't even read comic books. Like yo, man, Pig's Feet is on sale. Buy one, get one free. I don't eat pig's feet. It don't matter how cheap it is. I don't eat pig's feet.
That ain't for you. Yeah.
It ain't for me. They're not talking to me. So I can't get upset about everything. I read comic books. I don't have a problem with Superman being gay. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, in a real world, it's going to happen. You got to write real world stories. You got to write stories that embrace the real world and everything that's going on out here.
That's true.
Like Superman's, you okay with him being an alien, but not gay?
Yeah.
Like he's not even human.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you know how stupid we can get with these conversations?
Yeah.
But I don't agree that I'd never like that. Let the kids have their innocence.
Yeah.
Let the kids have their innocence. White, black, whatever. I don't care. I'm pretty sure it's not a little white girl somewhere going, why is the Little Mermaid black? I'm sure she's not. I'm sure she's going, well, I want to go see it. Are you taking me to see the Little? And now when her dad say or her mom say why, no, she says why. And now they got to tell her why they're not going to take her to see it. But that's not the kids thinking this way.
What a great point you bring out, TuRae. That's so true. And
Disney want that money. So yeah, they're going to look, next time she come around, she's going to be Hispanic.
Because it's reflecting the world.
It's reflecting.
Film,
it is what it is.
That's what film does.
Do you know why The Rock is the highest paid actor?
Why is he?
Because he can be anybody. White, black, Hispanic, Mexican, Egyptian. That's why The Rock is the highest. Because he, whatever role.
Yeah, people don't see it when it's translated, dub the voices in. He looks like everybody.
Yeah, just like everybody.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure whoever does the voices for Rock around the planet is equally well paid.
Yes. Listen, get that money. I don't have no problem with it. I think that things should be multicultural.
It should be.
I agree.
I think we should see a Little Mermaid, white, black, whatever. Hey, look, if you don't like
black
it,
first though.
My thing is,
you don't like this one, real black first.
From the old one. The old one's still out there. You can still watch that one. Watch the old one if you don't like it.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
You can still stream the old one. Disney got it up. I got Disney Plus. You can watch all Lace products.
That's a good point. That's a good point. One more thing. It's Black Music Month. The month of June is black. I'm wearing you know who this is, right?
Yes.
That's Biggie. So
yes, that's the cover of not Reasonable Doubt. That's the cover of Life. Ready to Die. Biggie on the baby cover.
Biggie. So my question is, Black Music Month, who's on your playlist?
Oh man, I got a Gemini playlist this month. So it's my playlist is on my phone right now. But
we are in the Gemini season of June, and then it goes into Cancer phase mid, because I'm June 24th. So I think
you're Cancer.
I'm a Cancer, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But woman.
Patti LaBelle, Kanye, Jada Kiss, Heavy D, all Geminis. Lionel Richie. I'm playing all the Geminis. So yeah, it's a Gemini playlist, and I'm enjoying it so much. But I'm a big Biggie fan. Like Biggie, I think his music has had a hold on me most of the time he's been out. Yeah, I love Biggie. I can honestly say that. I love him.
I
I watched that documentary, Got a Story to Tell, and I cried at the end because I realized he was a baby. He was 24. My daughter's 28. I have a 28-year-old daughter. And I can tell you 4 years ago how, that she was so younger. And for him to have been killed at that point of his life, he was a baby, but yet he'd accomplished so much.
So much.
Him and Pac was only 25. They were babies.
They were babies. They died way too young, but their music lives on. Thank God they recorded.
Yes. But yeah, I love, like, Biggie is that guy. Like I try not to play rap music or music with cursing around my kids or around my family. Don't get me wrong, ain't no saints in this house, but in the car where I can control it, it's kind of hard for me to ride down the street listening to my playlist, and my daughter's was in the backseat. Right. So it would go to WDAS, but I did make them listen to Biggie and Nas, because I didn't, of course, when they were younger, I didn't know that he would be, being killed, but I wanted them to never forget this guy. Like, this is the greats. Y'all got to listen to Biggie. So yeah, they don't listen to it now, but if you put on, I Got a Story to Tell, they know it word by word, word for word.
Know what it is. The lyrics, the lyrics are just unbelievable.
Yeah. So.
Such a youthful time.
Black music, and it's so funny because I just was on my live broadcast. I was talking about how much fun I had at the Roots picnic, and just a phenomenal time, man. Like they really put on that event. Really put on for the city as far as some live music performances. That was dope. So,
I didn't go this year. I went last year. They take over the whole park.
Yeah, my lady went. I had to work last year. I was filming some Moore's Queen Chandelier. We filmed that in Boca Raton, Florida, June 2nd to 3rd of 2022. So I missed the Roots picnic last year, and then I got a chance to see it this year. It was very phenomenal.
It's a treat for the city. And then who would have thought? I mean, were you hanging out or following Questlove and the Roots back in the day at that time?
Yeah.
You see how far they've come.
Look, I'll tell you a quick story. I think it's All-Star Weekend or Grammy Weekend. I forget it may have been All-Star Weekend, but I know I was going to, because they're close. It was All-Star Weekend when they had it here in the city.
2002.
Right? And the Roots had got the Grammy for You Got Me, right? Going to a party at Brave New World. I'm in line, walking in. They got the You Got Me poster on the wall, like on outside. It's a banner. So it's like on the outside, you can see. Tariq is like, there's a couple people, but Tariq is directly in front of me, Black Thought.
Yes.
And security stops him, like on some, we not letting nobody in, blah, blah. I said, I couldn't believe that. Security know me. So they see me, like, yo, what's up, TuRae? And I said, y'all can't do this. He talking about, what you talking about? I said, that's him.
I'm right on the wall.
Right here. Wow. He's like, oh my.
Did it shut him off? Okay. We did the hour.
Yeah, we did get the hour in. Hey, abrupt ending, but that does it for the Reelblack podcast this week with our guest TuRae. And please, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to both our channels, Reelblack 1 and this channel that you're watching now, Reelblack number 2.